Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and online community. My name is Ricky, and tonight I'm going to speak to you about a topic that has recently caught my attention. And the reason this topic has caught my attention is because, as some of you know, I'm looking for employment right now. And as I have been perusing the local help wanted ads in the local papers and online resources, I have found that a lot of jobs are looking for this specific skill. The skill that they keep asking for in these jobs is multitasking. And what this reminds me of is a quick joke. Whoever said women can multitask is speaking bollocks. I told my missus to sit down and be quiet. She couldn't do either. Now back on point here. The reason that this caught my attention so much is because I read a book a couple years ago by the title of The One Thing. It was written by Gary Keller. Yes, that Gary Keller of Keller Williams Realty. And in this book, there's one chapter in particular that completely caught my attention. It's chapter 5. I'll just plainly say how it starts off. It starts off saying, multitasking is a lie. Now, these companies are asking us to have this skill, but yet this book is telling us it's a lie. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper into how he describes why this has become norm these days. Multitasking actually started with computers. Back in the days when we had a computer with one CPU, that computer can do one task until it was done with that task, and then you fed it another task and it did that task. Then we came out with parallel computers, which had two CPUs or CPUs with 1, 2, 3, or 4 cores. And yes, modern CPUs have gone beyond that, but that's where the idea came from, and we started spreading this idea to everyone that you can now multitask because supposedly computers can do it. Well, I happen to have a computer at my house that has 2 CPUs with 4 cores, total of 8 cores. So of course this computer can do 4 tasks, right? Well, off I went and fired it off, turned on the activity monitor on my computer, started these 4 tasks, and no, it couldn't actually do 4 tasks. What the computer would do is I started one task. What the computer would do is give all of its processing power to the one task. And then when I started the second task, what it would do is stop the first task, and then it would start the second task, and then it would play this juggling act with the 2 tasks. Then when I started the third task, what the computer would do is stop the first 2 tasks, and then play this juggling act again with the 3 tasks. Then when I went and started the 4th task, you guessed it, it stopped the first 3 tasks, and then started playing this juggling act again, until basically every single one of the tasks was done, and the computer went back to its idle state. But I had to rethink this because, you see, my computer is ancient by modern standards. This thing's from 2010. It's 10 years old already. So it basically has a foot in the grave already. So I decided to grab my buddy, the iPhone X, and call my friend who has been an Intel engineer for over 35 years. In fact, this job now is to basically go to Intel factories and make sure that their chips are being manufactured correctly. And what he said blew me away. I'm going to air quote this part for everyone. He said, "Ricky, CPUs haven't actually gotten faster. What you perceive as faster computing is a CPU's ability to concentrate on the task that is the most important one while everything else sits idle." End quotes. Let's let that sink in for a second there. And I'm going to air quote it again and repeat it. What we perceive as faster computing is a CPU's ability to concentrate on the task that has the highest priority while it lets the other ones sit idle. End quotes. So then why would companies be asking us all the time to have this skill set of multitasking? It doesn't make any sense because computers can't even do it supposedly, but they want us to do it. Well, this got me thinking, okay, maybe what they're asking for is a different skill set. Because you see, my fellow Toastmasters, we all have inside of our heads the greatest computer that was ever created. Our Creator has given us a computer that no modern machine can match inside of your heads. You all have the same computer. And I started doing some research in the great Google and found a person that has become a legend in recent times. The reason this man has become a legend is because he's known as the efficiency expert in startups, in the electric car industry, and the space travel industry. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. Yes, Elon Musk. Elon Musk has become a legend because of his ability to be efficient. But what he did is he took this skill set that he has as to be efficient from computers. What Elon Musk does is from the time he gets up in the morning, he starts with the task that he feels is the most important that day, gives it 5 to 10 minutes, and then moves on to the second task of the day that he feels is the most important, gives it 5 to 10 minutes, and keeps this habit going throughout the whole day, even including his lunch, where he only gives 5 to 10 minutes to stuff his face. So this got me thinking. What companies are looking for is our ability to task switch, not multitask, because that's what Elon Musk is doing very well. He's switching his task efficiently throughout the day. This is a lesson for all of us. Imagine if we took that lesson of a modern day CPU and Elon Musk and applied it to our lives. Could you imagine getting an 8-hour workday done in 4 hours? What would you do with those extra hours? Would some of you, God forbid, do more work and maybe try and get more work done? Would some of you maybe start a hobby? Some of you maybe start a business? I think what most of us would do with that extra time is we would build memories with our families and do things with the people that we care about the most. So there we have it, a lesson for all of us to be able to make our lives better. Start your day with the most important task you have, go to the second most important task, and then keep going down throughout the day, and you'll find yourself to have a more efficient day. I trust you all learned something and enjoy listening to this talk today.